We have a little clip that hasn't made it onto the air that we'd like to show you guys. Early on in the show, we'll air this in just a second. We often get asked, have you ever filmed something that Discovery refused to air? And the answer is yes, a couple of times. One time, you ever go to the supermarket and you try to convince your mom that you want to buy the really sugary cereal? I totally know, I did it too. And your mom says, I'm not buying you that crap. The box is more nutritious for you than the sugary cereal inside. So we decided to test that, not on ourselves, on some white lab mice.
Yeah, so we got some mice in several different cages, and we fed the mice in one cage, let's see, some normal mouse food, the standard lab diet.
That was the control.
Yeah, then we got another cage, we put the sugary cereal in, and then the third cage.
Those mice were very happy.
Yeah, and the third cage, we put some mice in that we fed this, actually we got one of the boxes and ground it up with a blender with some water and some artificial sweetener, hoping that would encourage them to eat it. We made this paste, which we then shoved through a tube and dried so that it looked like mouse pellets. So
the same form factor as their normal food.
And we fed them this stuff, and we left all these mice in a room for about a week. And it comes to like Friday, and they were still doing fine. I looked after to check, make sure they had water and everything. And
Jamie was our pet inspector because Jamie actually used to own a pet store when he was 16.
Yeah, and so I'm looking at them, and everybody was fine except the ones that were eating the cardboard were a little jumpy. They seemed okay, but they were a little nervous. That's all I noticed, and I closed the door and we left for the weekend.
So Monday morning, we come back in to check out the mice. The mouse food mice, they're doing great. The sugary cereal mice, they're really doing great. The mice eating the box, well, they're not doing so great. In fact, there's no longer 3 mice in the cage. There's one really fat mouse, and there's 2 carcasses. And I'm not even kidding, like Bugs Bunny, it was like head, rib cage, and tail. Like he'd eaten his compadres like corn on the cob. So we immediately nicknamed him Killer.
And then we fed him to the snake.
And Discovery got
never aired.
Well, Discovery got the footage. Slow down there, slow down. I see it. Discovery got the footage, and they were like this. Don't ever show this to anyone. Now, there's a second time we filmed a whole episode. We wanted to do it early on, the whole episode about farts, because they're funny. And of course, the finale of that episode was going to be the myth, which is the most asked question on all the Discovery websites for Mythbusters, which is, can you light your own fart? And we did it. And Discovery refused to air it, but we have a clip of that sequence here. You guys want to see it?
Only see here.
All right, let's roll the clip.
And now, the flatulence finale.
Adam, did you know that the question as to whether or not you can light a flask is the most frequently asked question on the website?
And something tells me it's going to be me doing the lighting.
I think that would be the case.
I guarantee you no one's ever caught it on high speed, and I'm pretty sure it's television first.
Make sure you're sitting comfortably because the Mythbusters are going for a television world first to rival the 1969 moon landing. Can you really ignite an air biscuit? Any normal person would find this quite humiliating, but not.
This is not necessarily the most embarrassing thing I've ever done. I mean, there's the Goldfinger revisit where I had to shake my whole body on camera and then have a thermometer inserted. There's running in the rain where I wear a skin tight latex rubber jumpsuit. There's peeing in the third rail where I had to pee on an electric fence, which was on the same day that I had to shave my whole body.
And now there's lighting of flatters on national TV.
Yes, really.
Adam's confident because the earlier gas analysis proved that his flatters does contain a small amount of methane.
I've got the lighter, it works. I've got the position. And any minute now, hopefully, we can troubleshoot this.
The lights are ready, the high speed's on standby, but Adam just can't sit and deliver.
False alarm.
Try as he might,
Dolan, please meet Nate Dolan by 8.
there's just no evil injection.
Well, he's got what we would typically call performance anxiety. I don't know how to rectify that. I hope we need some kind of a flood.
So close.
He's got more false alarms than a fire department in a prank call zone until... At last, Adam delivers a burning
Oh my God.
You know, it doesn't matter that I've been doing this show for 3 years and in the process busted some 120 minutes. I will now be the guy that lit his poop on television. Hey, it's the guy that, hey man, check this out! Woo! Like forever, I'm sure.
Judy and
That's
Jen
what you're doing.
Cromato, please meet
That's right.
Jan Cromato, box column A.
And Adam doesn't do his epitaph any favours because from then on, his gut bacteria work overtime.
Hey, another one! Woo! You're like a champion, man.
It's these microbes that break down carbohydrate and produce methane. This flammable gas makes up just 7% of the average flatters. But that's plenty enough to confirm this myth. It's the icing on the cake for the facts about flatulence. But remember that these guys are trained professionals. Please do not try this at home.
You saw it for the first time ever.
Hey,